That's the whole
That's
challenge?
the whole thing. 9 days in a row. It's just literally just changes the map and it changes the. What's going on? Welcome to the podcast, a show dedicated to talking about all the progress things in life, like music, content creation, and video games. I'm one of your co-hosts, JesseKazam.
And I am your honorable Judge Veritas.
Yes.
Court is now in session.
Yes. What am I being tried for?
Being too sexy. Bro, I just had like the biggest brain, like legal, all the fucking law stuff that I've been like
just like
soaking up,
downloading.
Yeah, and I've been watching the fucking Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial like all over again. Watching Emily D. Baker, a YouTuber who is a former district attorney in California. She does like basically react content to like legal stuff.
Legal stuff. Okay.
So I'm like watching her because I'm familiar with the case.
But that
it's entertaining as hell.
Insight when yeah, that's fascinating. Yep.
And there was at one point Amber Heard's like lawyers were making some argument and he referenced like if you look at the case, like the Bose case, blah blah blah. And I'm like, bro, I know what that is. And I fucking pull up it from my like archives. The fucking reply to a special motion to strike of defendant Twin Galaxies from fucking the Billy Mitchell court case. And the guy said Bose. I'm like, I know that case. And it's Bose Corp versus Consumers Union. And I'm like, yo, this is about the actual malice standard part of defamation. So public figures, if you want to defame a public figure, not if you want to, but if you, in order to prove defamation of a public figure, there's a higher standard than actual malice. And actual malice basically is like you're lying and you know it, or you like don't give a fuck whether it's true or not, and you just spread it. And then I fucking listen to what he says, and he's talking about the case, talking about actual malice. I'm like, bro, I got it. Dude. Like I fucking knew, like I knew it.
Dude, this time next year, he's gonna be like, all right, guys, I'm taking the bar next week. You know, I'm super excited.
Dude. Fucking ChatGPT all the way. Me and ChatGPT. You also hear about that whole ChatGPT case?
No.
Some boneheaded lawyer effectively like just straight up was like had ChatGPT do their homework and like copy pasted a bunch of responses that was effectively made up. Like ChatGPT, it was like basically find me cases that support this particular thing, and it was like, sure, in fucking Smorgasborg versus Jones, and it just made it up.
Yeah.
So then like the other lawyers like were like, we couldn't find any of the cases that he quoted, like they don't exist. And he basically ended up being like, yeah, sorry, I used ChatGPT.
Dude. It's crazy because like if you are going to go into the profession of becoming a lawyer, you kind of have to be a dude that's willing to do your own homework. You know what I mean? Like your life, like that's homework, the job. You know what I mean? Like
lawyers are known as being ethical.
Yeah, true. But still,
my dad, I'll always remember this. My dad basically was like, you can be whatever you want, son. You can do whatever you want to do, and I will be proud of you and I'll support you as long as you're not a lawyer. And then, like, I mean, obviously he was like kidding, but not kidding.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, that's like the one thing that stuck with me.
That's so
my whole life. Because I remember when I was little, for some reason, I went to my old man and I'm like, Dad, I know what I want to be when I grow up. And he's like, oh yeah, what? And I'm like, a cab driver. Because I just figured I always just saw people giving them cash. And I'm like, they must just have so much cash.
Just like literally cash left and right.
Yeah, and it
It's
must have
so
been like
funny.
movies or TV shows
Yeah,
or something.
yeah.
Like where the fuck do you like you don't see that anymore, obviously.
That's so funny. Is that like the first thing you can remember wanting to be? Like, is that the earliest I want to be this when I grow up memory?
My second one. My favorite book growing up as a kid was called I Want to Be an Astronaut.
Of course.
And it's it's the most triggering book to read now as an adult because it has
The Earth is flat.
it has the cadence of like a poem or a
Yeah.
song. Let me see. I need to pull it up because I want to read it. I need to read it to you like verbatim.
Yep.
Can I? It's like fucking 11 pages. Can someone just like show me in Google Images like what the pages are? It's like I want to be an astronaut and fly up into space and go up in my spaceship. And then I do something that doesn't rhyme with space. And it's so like,
yeah, yeah.
It has the cadence that it's going to rhyme.
Or
and
like
it never
adds
rhymes.
too many syllables and it like doesn't hit the thing. Yeah.
No, it's not even that. It has
just
exactly the amount of syllables it needs. It's just like space and
in
shit.
my
And
truck.
It's like,
It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
Wait, what?
I literally got it for my nephew.
Because yeah.
And I'm like, this is my favorite book, and I was reading through it, and I was going like, wait, I don't remember this being so fucking bad. But like, I want to be an astronaut, fly up into space, and wear my spacesuit, and look down at Earth. It's like, hello, what the fuck?
Oh my god, dude.
Anyway,
mine was paleontologist. I remember being so proud that I could I know that I could pronounce the word, and I just loved dinosaurs. Like because of course I just told my dad like I want to look at old dinosaurs, and then he was like,
did they use that word in Jurassic Park?
Probably. That's
That
probably
had to
where
have
it
been
came
it.
from. Honestly, yeah, the timing matches there, right? Of like when, yeah. It was probably I saw Jurassic Park super, but yeah, I want to be a paleontologist. That was the earliest job I can remember wanting to have.
That's pretty sick, actually. That's pretty sick. Now, what the fuck was I going to say? I just blanked it. I was going to say, so many of those things have to be media related.
Yeah,
like
I think so.
You know, like what's a fucking obvious example? If you had said I wanted to be a fucking tornado chaser, you know what? Obviously, you know what I would instantly say. You fucking watch Twister.
Oh yeah.
You know when you were like 7.
I mean, my son wants to be a garbage man because of the Blippi episode where they look at the garbage truck and how the arms move up and everything. He's like, I want to be a garbage man, Dad.
Dog, I don't have kids, so I'm not.
It's like you can do whatever you want.
Anything after Rocko's Modern Life, I'm gonna miss the reference.
Well, I mean, just nowadays, it's just like freaking YouTube.
Blippi toys.
Oh yeah.
Is that what that is? Is that the same Blippi?
Orange and blue, like orange and blue hat, bow tie thing. Or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Blippi's an international sensation now.
Huh.
You want to know a fun fact? You want to know a weird fact?
You used to date.
Me and Blippi actually, used to date. Yeah, no. Well,
he's like Steve from Blue's Clues, where he's actually like addicted to like heroin or crack.
2 fun facts actually. So Blippi is now like literally international. I mean, like, hold on, he started on YouTube, but like,
he only has 1 million views in kids YouTube. He's failing.
What is that? He's got 20 million subscribers, 18.8 million subscribers.
Oh, I'm looking at Blippi Toys. He must have his own main channel.
Yeah. His most popular video is 4 years ago. It has 929 million views. I repeat, 929 million views. Okay, so that's Blippi. He's like Amazon Prime has done like specials with him. Netflix has done specials with him. He's in Roblox now. Anyways, he finally was doing too many things. K-Swiss has a deal they do shoes with him. Anyways, 2 fun facts. One, he finally hired somebody else that looks like him to basically just copy him and be another Blippi. Like they don't acknowledge it. Like this other dude is also Blippi, and like they do all this stuff, and he does like live shows and like musicals and stuff. That second Blippi I grew up with. Like I know this guy.
You know the Blippi doppelganger?
I know Blippi doppelganger. But the other fun fact is that the original Blippi, before he started Blippi, got into some hot water on the internet way back in the Harlem Shake days because he posted a video of doing the Harlem Shake, and when the beat dropped, he took a dump on his friend's chest.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Wait. Sorry. Rewind. That was the same Blippi, the original Blippi?
Yeah. That guy.
What you just said is going to get him canceled.
Oh, it's like there's articles everywhere. Like that guy did that. Then he like got in trouble and took a break from the internet for a little bit. And then he came back as Blippi. And then once Blippi started taking off, that started circulating again. Yeah.
Yikes. I'm so glad. It's someone else is having a bad day when I'm glad I didn't shit on anybody in my past. I'm like, God, thank God I didn't shit on anyone. Like, literally. I mean, figuratively, yes, but literally.
Yeah. Yep.
Like,
no matter how bad you have it, you don't have that looming over you. You know what I mean? You don't have that. Like,
I'm so glad I didn't have social media.
Grips with the fact that you did that. Yeah.
As a 13, 14, 15-year-old, because I'm sure I probably would have. I'm sure I did something. Tweeted some edgy shit that
100%.
Was. I mean, think about like, real talk. Think about how many words you can't say now that are no longer a part of my vocabulary.
Yeah, of course.
But that were a part of every teenager's vocabulary in fucking 2002 or whatever. Yeah. All of the words that now, if you said, would get you canceled. That, ignorant fucking
for sure.
edgelord douchebag everyone,
young,
including
me too.
Said.
Me too, yeah. Ignorant.
But never, and here's the thing, it was like, language evolves.
Yeah.
And it was like, it's one of those things like, I don't know that any of my friends ever used any of the bad words to mean what they literally ever meant. They always meant something different.
For sure.
That like there were words that even recently someone was like, that refers to that. And I'm like,
yeah.
Oh.
We didn't even know what they meant. It's just like young kids regurgitating random things you hear, you know what I mean? Completely ignorant of what any word means.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh,
you know what? And we were talking about
dump on anybody's chest,
I never shit. Well, not on the internet.
Not on true.
At least. Asterisk. We talked about on our Patreon, the PP, patreon.com/the Pogcast pod.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yep. That's the one. If you want more of this every week, or even just early access to these episodes,
we get in a super secret. That's where we tell the tea, I believe, is what the kids say these days.
Yeah.
My wife is always like, my wife always says that now. Mm-hmm. And I think you said that the other day. I feel like,
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, thank God my wife taught me what that means. Because I didn't know. But we were recently talking about Destiny, the streamer Destiny.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the dude, it's so fucking funny. I was like stressing out for days. Because one of the things I said was, I'm like, I have a feeling that he's probably said some real ding dong shit. I'm like, I don't know why, but I have a feeling. I'm like, I know we get banned. I don't remember for what or whatever. And I'm like, but everything I've seen, it's like that he is engaged in like good faith debates, even though I don't even though I don't agree with everything, whatever. And then like, I just watched like the last 4 videos I watched. I was like, ooh, they were a little... Ooh, you're like, oh, fuck. God,
you like manifested it. You're like, this guy somewhere out there's got something he's got to be embarrassed of. And the internet was like, allow me to introduce you. Yeah.
Yeah. So I will say that, for everybody that watched that episode or that heard me say like, he hasn't said anything weird or questionable. There are some things I take it back.
I take it back.
yeah, I would tend to disagree with. Again, not everything. Like,
Yeah.
If you disagree with someone on one thing, the temptation in 2023 is to put everything in the trash can and just say like they're a terrible human being, like whatever. First of all, I don't care enough about any real individual people to warrant the effort that it would take to mentally but yeah, most notably there was something about, it was effectively like kind of casually talking about, recommending people harm themselves, and it was just like, nah, dog, like you're not right about that.
Yeah.
Like that ain't good. That ain't good at all. So that's at least one thing I wanted to get out in front of that.
Yeah, honestly, good idea. Good idea.
And just say it. I've literally, he has like a fucking thousands of videos out there, and I've watched like 11 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so, on the Patreon, we were talking about how Veritas is, loving the new Andrew Tate stuff. He's like, this guy, this guy hasn't said anything. I don't think on that. I'm just kidding.
This guy hasn't said anything I disagree with whatsoever.
Oh, man.
Ah, fuck me.
Yep. So definitely go watch that episode. Oh, Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as far as like topics for this week to talk about, we can blare through some of the Tarkov stuff. It's not a whole lot. We talked a little bit about the streamer challenge on the Patreon episode, but more about some of like the drama surrounding the beginnings of it. But let me tell you, I'm glad we did, because there's no shortage of drama as the streamer challenge has commenced.
Oh God, tell me all about it. I don't know anything.
I will spill the tea. So here's the deal, man. So like we talked a little bit on the Patreon episode about how like people, the original thing was people were just mad that some people like that were competing already had streamer items, XYZ. We talked about that. But then we get into it, right? We get into the actual thing. It starts Monday, streamer challenge. I think the way it works is like it starts at a specific time and ends at a specific time, but that window is longer than 8 hours to accommodate for like people who live in different time zones or like other sides. So it's like I don't know exactly, don't quote me on it. It's like a 14-hour zone, but you can only stream 8 hours of the challenge. You know what I mean? So like, whatever. So like, I'll go through how you get points in this challenge, okay? So it's 9 days because there's 9 maps in Tarkov. Each day takes place on a different map. So literally everybody in the tournament is going to play on one, or everyone in the challenge is going to play on the one map, and they're going to try to get points. So the day one was interchange. Eliminate Killa, 5 points. Find a Bitcoin and extract with it, 10 points. Find a GPU, 2 points. Eliminate scavs while using an SMG, 1 point for each kill. Eliminate scavs on interchange, 1 point for each kill. So that would be 2 points per scav if you
kill on it. SMG on interchange.
Find a streamer item in raid and extract with it, 1 point for each item. And then there's side quests, which are eliminate 5 rogues, which I don't think they put rogues on there. I think that's just like a thing that's every day. And then, which is 5 points. And then survive 5 raids in a row is 10 points. Okay. Did you notice anything maybe missing from that list? Maybe eliminating a PMC?
Oh.
Or a dog tag, maybe?
Okay.
So what do you think?
So everybody just went on dead servers?
What do you think the vibe is 7 hours in on interchange, where the most consistent way to get points is just kill scavs with an SMG? You 100% hit the nail on the head. Immediately, everybody was just picking like Japan 7, Colombia 9, dead servers.
8 billion ping, and they have streamer mode on, obviously, so you can't see the ping.
Yeah. And
that's how that works, right? With streamer mode, it hides the ping number.
Maybe. I don't know. I know some people have little like logos up in their top right to hide it. I don't know if streamer mode does it. But yeah, man, it just literally like 2 hours into the challenge, it like hit everybody at the same time where they were like, wait, this is just farm scavs for 8 hours. Because like the scavs are the most consistent ways to get streamer items. You get a point per scav.
You go to the tech rooms and the medical rooms, and you get the fuck out.
Exactly. You get another point for killing with an SMG, and you get points for surviving raids in a row. So it's like this.
Oh, so they all take the backpack exfil too?
Yeah.
Probably.
So this is literally the anti PvP event. And it's hosted on public servers. It's not private servers. So, like, you have an entire subset of the player base just going these maps, hunting streamers, stream sniping, extract camping was at an all-time high, right? And like and then all the participants are just attempting to find the deadest servers to farm scavs. Literally, like 2 hours in, everybody was like, "This kind of sucks."
Honestly, the moment that any of them screen cap them changing on the launcher their servers to auto and hit play now, instantly you're a Giga Chad. You have my utmost respect.
Yeah, seriously. So that was just kind of like it's funny, we talked about this on the streamer on the Patreon episode, and this was before this, and I said the same thing, and I still hold this sentiment. I think it's awesome that they're doing this. I think it's awesome. Like, my hope even before this, like, my hope was like Joe Schmo, 27 viewers. Like, I was hoping that guy won. You know what I mean? Like, these are such good opportunities for like...
Is it over yet?
No, it's 9 days long. So, but like before it started, I was like, dude, like these are like, of course I want guys, like I want some of my homies, like, you know, Trey is really going hard. It's like, I hope I want him to get a streamer item. He's a big streamer. He deserves it. But a part of me was hoping like Joe Schmo 27 viewers was just going to like crush day after day. You know what I mean? Because it's like, it's like, I love that they're doing this. It's a good opportunity for recognition for smaller streamers. I love that they didn't gatekeep it with like, you had to have, you know, thousands of viewers. I think it's cool that they're adding like, I think the whole thing is awesome. I just think the content of the event was a swing and a miss because like it just, you know, what is it? Like, what is Tarkov? You know, and I know, like, of course, dude, I mean, there's been like an underground movement of like, this is actually the perfect event for a hardcore, realistic milsim shooter. You wouldn't want to be like, it's like crazy. But from the viewing perspective, everybody's like, this is boring. You know what I mean?
Sleepers.
Yeah. So,
oh my good God,
so
dude.
It is what it is, right? But the thing is, and then, so the other thing is like a lot of takes have been flying around. Yeah. Oh yeah. So a few things, literally 2 hours into the challenge, wave 1 of tweets, I'm quitting this challenge. Like, I'm officially dropping out. Thank you, BSG, for the opportunity. 2 hours in. And there's been a new wave every single day. Every single day, there's been a wave of like, had a blast. Thank you for the opportunity. I'm bowing out. Every day, there's been a new wave. And the first wave happened.
Another one bites dust.
And the first wave happened within hours, okay? So there's been some takes that are floating around. Like, one, somebody was like, they should have been on private servers. And I understand that like you need a lot of people to fill private servers, right? Because it's like all over the world. But there were 1,500 participants, and it's only one map per day. So like, there's no reason. I was talking to somebody. I was like, it would actually be hilarious to like get in the challenge. The account, you get an account with 25 million rubles, 25,000 USD, and 25,000 euros. It'd be funny, especially because it's on public servers, to just hop on the challenge account and play all the other maps and just like on a free account, just like buy thermals and T7s and just go crazy. Anyways, so if it had been on private servers, even though there was only one map, PvP would have naturally emerged because everybody in the raid is a participant. So when you hear
they're competitors.
Exactly. When you hear people killing scavs, not only is that your friend getting points, but it's points you can't get. So it's like there would have been a natural, like, okay, I am actually going to go in hot and heavy. If I can wipe this lobby and then stay in, I'm going to kill all these scavs, right? You know what I mean? Like, so that would have been a natural thing. And then another really, really consistent piece of feedback is that 8 hours was too long. Like, I mean, just like 8 hours, 9 days in a row of just farming scavs and avoiding PMCs at all costs. There is literally no reason to get engaged in a PvP fight.
Well, okay, so wait, all of those rules that you said, is that every day it's just a different map?
Every day is just a different map.
Oh, so I thought that was only one, there was only the one day. That's the whole
That's
challenge?
the whole thing. 9 days in a row. It's just literally just changes the map and it changes the
oh fuck! Sorry, scavs.
It just changes the map and the weapon that you get extra points, you know, killing the scavs with. But none of the other rule set really changes. So yeah, or at least not that I've seen. You know, maybe there's something because we're on day 3, so it was
Well, bro, like isn't
it was customs and then it was factory. Oh, we're on day 4 and then today was woods. I think I don't remember. Dude,
I should tweet that I'm dropping out of the challenge. I should be like, all right, guys, after all this, I'm regretfully dropping out.
Yeah.
But if you think about like, all the every time they've ever done this, whether it was Twitch Rivals or whether it was any of the other things that they've done that I can't think of other than Twitch Rivals, but it's always been like well done in terms of a lot of elements of it, except for this, like the bingo cards, or like the specifics were just like,
we're playing, and once again, and that's why I mean, it's like there's not a lot of people, but that's why I think the feedback is so funny. It's like, anyways, I agree. It's like the game is like when you're doing a challenge like this, the type of people you're attracting to participate are the like try hard sweaties, whether it's 27 viewer Andy or Landmark, right? Like they're the guys that play a lot that so to attract that group of people and then say, okay, don't do the thing you all want to do. You know what I mean? If they like, they could have just done, they like, and this is kind of the content that you and me have said is such low hanging fruit. There could have just been a message from Fence today saying like, whoever kills the most scavs in the next 48 hours, I'm giving 10 million rubles. And it could have just been like, then everyone can participate and it's not a big thing and they get money and it's like whatever. But if you're going to say, hey, best of the best, top tier, you guys come here, we're going to do a challenge. No PvP. You know what I mean? It's just like, it doesn't have to be solely PvP. It doesn't have to be entirely PvP, but it's structured in a way where like avoiding PvP is honestly the best thing possible for you.
Yeah, they need to, there really needs to be like a balance of things, because you're never going to come up with a set of rules that even if you're the most in touch player in the world, you would never be able to come up with any one rule that everyone would like. Yeah. So that's why it's like you balance it around all kinds of different play styles. The longest amount of time spent in raid, getting a PMC kills versus the number of, or the number of raids, so that you actually can like sort of pick and choose what you want to do rather than have there be one clear meta.
Or you're like, I think tournament rules are fun when your strategy changes due to the position you're in. You know what I mean? If like, so like
high risk, high reward if you're behind.
So like, exactly. So like, getting 10 survives in a row or 5 survives in a row, that's a great thing to have points for. And then PvP is a great thing to have points for. And then you might be in a situation where you got some PvP, your first, second, your third raid, but now you're like, I'm on 3 raids in a row. Should I push the PvP? If I do, I risk losing this. But if I hit it, and then you might be down bad, you might be behind, and you go, I'm going to try and survive 5 raids in a row going mad aggro on PvP. Because if I get both, if I get the PvP, the dog tags, and the survives, that's going to how I clutch it up. But there's no clutching happening in this rule set, because it's just like, I've been asleep farming scavs, and, Hyper just has 300 more scavs than me. I can't risk it all to clutch up that deficit. You know, like
there's effectively a hard cap on the points per hour any individual person can get.
Pretty much.
So if you fall behind, then I mean you unless someone's internet goes out or something, you're kind of fucked.
Yeah.
They really need to design these events. They need to balance them like you would balance other things in a game.
Yeah.
Where there's choices and there's risk reward.
Yeah.
Where there's multiple play styles. But yeah.
So once again, like I think it's so cool that they did it. I'm just so sad that it ended up being this way. And just like, yeah, the 8 hours, which is a long time to sit on one map with one objective, which is farm scavs. You know what I mean? And somebody said this in chat, and I completely agree. Tarkov's format is just hard to make a competition for. I completely agree, right? Like, there's too many bugs, you know what I mean? Because, like, I almost said earlier, and the thing about this is that, like, the AI are, like, the most toxic thing to deal with in the game. But before I even said that, I was like, yeah, but if they made it a PvP event, then everybody would be, you know, it would, like, desync and stuff like that. So you're right. There's nothing. Like, it's a hard game to make tournaments around. But I think the fact that they are means we're allowed to criticize it. You know what I mean? I'm allowed to have critical feedback because I didn't say that they should do this event. They did, and it's like, hey, if we're going to do this, maybe we should, you know, take some feedback for it. I think just too long is like, oof. And then public servers. I mean, just the fact that you can, like, yeah, I don't know. The whole server swapping thing is crazy to me. Like, I don't even know if this is a hot take, but I don't even know why we can select our own servers in this game. Like,
my guess is that a lot of it has to do, well, there's I think two pieces. One is, like, I know at least in the past they had, like, issues with some servers where it's like it's almost like they're giving you a way to get around their own issues, their own bugs, right?
Yeah.
Like, they give you more freedom to, you know, get around those types of things. If for some reason these servers are all fucked up, or if your connection to one particular server is really bad or something.
Yeah.
But so that's part of it. The other part of it is, like, all of the people that see, it's so hard to talk about because there are people who legitimately are in shitty situations that shouldn't be, right? Like,
for sure.
Ghost Freak was in, you know, fucking South Africa, and it was like you can't get into games, or it's always just the same fucking stream sniper cheater in every single game over and over and over again.
Yeah.
You know, like, having the ability, that's kind of adjacent to ping limit stuff also. But then you have the people who explicitly abuse it, which just sucks.
And the thing is that, like, any system will be abused, right? I'm not saying that, like, I'm not saying it would be simple to make nobody abused, but, like, I think Desmond or somebody has said this in the past, and I don't know why this system wouldn't be better, where it's like there's no ping limit. You can, like, you can't select your servers, but if my friend invites me, I can join his game, right? Like, if somebody from the UK, like, if we want to play and I want to say, okay, I'm going to be at that, you know, crazy ping, advantage, disadvantage, depending on the situation, right? Then, like, I can accept that and he can invite me and I can go. So it's not like a ping limit, but like, as a solo player, I shouldn't be able to just constantly rotate my servers for, like, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe there's something I'm not missing. Yeah, for sure. I guess bigger streamers with stream sniping, if they can constantly rotate one server at a time, that helps a lot with stream sniping. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I just I mean, if it seems like most of the abuse happens. It feels like most of the abuse happens when solo players, like, specifically go to high ping servers or, like, dead servers, and it seems like most of the frustration happens when friends can't play together. And it's like, so what if we flip it? What if it's like, as a solo you can't switch your server, but if me and my friend want to play together, we can? You could make the argument that the solo that tried to do that could, you know, get a friend to invite him, but it doubles the amount of work for him, so that might not happen as much. Like, and then the people that just want to have fun can have fun. Yeah. Does that, you know what I mean? Like, I guess my question would be, would that result in more frustration or less frustration? And I feel like, would there be people who abuse the system and still go to high ping servers? Yes. But my gut tells me it would be less of those people, and more people that just want to play with their friends would be able to play with their friends.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something I'm missing. Maybe there's something I'm missing.
No, I mean, you're not wrong. It is one of those things that's like an unanswerable question because we don't know. Like, there's multiple reasons why people do it. Some of them are more nefarious than others. Some of them are more kind of like shitty, or they feel exploitative in a way. Like I'll always remember when for a long time I was really frustrated with what, like, within the 6 months window, like my last 6 months of playing before I basically like have taken a long break, I was just really frustrated with like the gameplay loop and making money.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people were like, look at streamer X, Y, and Z.
They have so much money.
Why don't you talk to them? And all of them in DMs privately said, go to this server. And they all had 3 different servers in 3 different regions, which was funny.
Yep.
Go to this server. It's totally dead. You'll see less PMCs. And it's like, these, so everyone was saying these guys are gods at the game and they're really good at PvP.
Yeah.
Ask them how you make the money. And the answer was effectively, I avoid PvP.
PvP is the least amount of problem. And you're not saying those guys are bad. You're saying it's interesting the disconnect, the cognitive disconnect between they have X amount of ruble. They, from a viewer perspective, look at all those rubles they have. They're insane at the game. And then by their own admission, it's like, oh yeah, if you want a ton of money, man, just go to these servers, avoid PvP at all costs, go to this map, there's money everywhere. That disconnect is funny. It's not even to say that those are bad players. Those players, a lot of those guys can smoke me left, right, and center. But it's just funny that that's the thing. And that's what I'm saying is like, it's and that goes into that folds into the conversation we've had many times where like this sentence can be true in Escape from Tarkov. Making money is super easy unless it isn't. Like we talk about that all the time. Like farming rogues is super easy unless it isn't. Like if you're new to the game and I say, oh, there's money everywhere on streets, like you're going to die every raid, right? You're on auto servers, you're playing prime time, you're new to the game, you don't have a lot of knowledge, you're never going to make 1 billion rubles. But if you asked me, when people ask me, I'm not going to throw any streamer. When you ask me, I have 97 million rubles right now. When you ask me, and I get asked so many times a day how you make your money, I say play streets, man. There's money everywhere. But there's so much like, now I don't select specific servers. I literally have like every single East Coast server, but I might even be on auto. If not, I'm on every single East Coast server. So it's like, I don't go to the one server thing, but that just folds into the conversation where like making money or all these things that are easy in Tarkov to so many people. It's like, but there might be a barrier of knowledge that it's like, how would Johnny Pants 69 know that, Columbia 12 is the dead server at his time slot, and if he goes there, he can make 10 times more money. It's like, you know what I mean? I don't know. But anyways, that was like a huge the server thing, yeah. So that was like absolutely happening. That was like surface level drama. People are like, oh, I'm gonna go to this server and hope for less people. Like that was, everybody knew everybody was doing that.
I just had an idea real quick.
Okay.
On the server thing before we move on.
Oh, yeah.
Back in the day, one of my favorite elements of Tarkov was just like, part of it was how dead it was.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't dead, but like it just felt a lot more almost DayZ-esque where
yeah, dude, back in the day,
it wasn't just like spawn fight after. Well, there was a period where it was like boiler customs. You spawn in touching a 3-man, within arm's distance. But for the most part, things were much quieter. Things were much slower and a little bit more desolate. And I almost feel like, imagine if they made it so that you could play with your friends and it was auto server under the covers. There was no way to change anything. And the queuing system was a lot quicker, meaning that like the train would come every minute and it leaves no matter how many people are on the train, rather than waiting for half the train.
Oh, yeah,
so you'd end up with, the queue times would be slower now, but there would be less people in the raids, which let's pop in PvP.
Yeah.
Unless there were a lot of people playing in your region or whatever.
Yeah.
But just like in general, I think it would slow it down a little bit in terms of how many people there would be in each individual raid.
Yeah.
Which, given how dog shit Tarkov is,
because
it's also one of those things like.
I mean, that's an interesting conversation to have, right? I don't know, like, none of us, like you said, none of us have the answer, but that'd be an interesting conversation to have. I'd love to like get a bunch of PvP chats together, because there's two sides of.
They would hate this.
Not necessarily, because there's two types of PvP. There's quantity of PvP and there's quality of PvP. If 50% of your raids you spawn in, run 7 feet and get headshot, and in the other 50% of your raids, you spawn in, run 7 feet, turn, and headshot somebody. That's a lot of PvP. And some people might think the PvP chats love that. There's so much PvP. But that's not quality PvP. It doesn't feel good to get the headshot, and it doesn't feel good to get headshot. Like when I spawn in on Reserve or on Streets and I run and I look to the left and I go, there's a Timmy, or even there's a Chad. This happened just the other day, dude. Spawn in, look to the left, and he ended up coming in chat. He was like, I just paused your stream, man. And he was like super chill. But literally, we both spawned, we both looked down, we both shot at each other. I just hit. I didn't feel great about that. So like, I would wonder if the PvP chads would actually be okay with like 10% less players, 15% less players in the raids, because it would add a smidge more dynamism to like, the first fight might not happen, but there's still enough players that fights are happening, and they're happening in different spots, which allows for the potential of a bit more quality of PvP.
Let the raid cook before you serve it.
2 minutes. Yes, please. 2 minutes. Yeah. So like, I'm not saying like there might be people listening that are PvP chats, but I hate that. Like that. But I don't think it's as black and white. Like I do think that some of the PvP chads might be like, you know what? I would kind of get down with that,
So here's the thing. I would say the vast majority of the players, we're not talking about PvP Chad, whatever. We're talking about like the everyman. They probably make up 70-80% of the player base. They are doing quests. They want to be immersed. Yeah. They want to be able to run around and to be able to like take it slow, be careful, loot. They want to be able to pull up their map. They want to be, slow, immersive. Let me do my shit. Let me play the game. Yeah. Even if like, again, I don't know about anybody else, but being in a dead raid is better than being dead.
Yeah.
Because you're fucking playing.
I would say
the
like,
game.
80% of people would agree with you. Yeah, for sure.
So in terms of the gameplay to like level 40 or level 50, for most people, I think like less people in each raid would be a more enjoyable experience, because it's that much less. You're going to get owned by someone with better shit that outplays you, or you'll get cucked by sound, or it just gives it the game some room to fucking breathe.
And I really only think it would, like, you wouldn't have to do a lot less. You wouldn't change streets from 18 to 10 people. Like, I think 18 to 16 or 15 would make that difference. There's one less team, which means this team can spawn over here. You know what I mean? Like, the spawn system suffers when every spawn has to be filled, every spawn region, because then it's predictable. I spawn here, I look there, I know that boom, dead. But it's like if there's one less team, and then that means everybody's spawn can be spread out a little bit, and that means in the first 30 seconds of a raid, not everything's, that can change how a raid feels for sure. So, I mean, it'd be fascinating.
Look at it this way too. Really what we're talking about, the people who would be upset are the ones that are like level 72 and they just go in, they auto insta grab all the meta shit, and they're just on autopilot, and they go kill things, they get out. It's all about just like churn and burn, money, fight, whatever. Those people are going to go play arena. Yeah. Let's fucking pump the brakes on Escape from Tarkov, make it more like it was, slow, tactical, and empty, because the empty, it's like the contrast is what's meaningful. Tarkov is great when it's when it goes 0 to 60,
Yeah.
much fewer percentage of the time,
Yeah.
because, you know, like, you're not always at high alert,
Yeah.
right? You're like, you can kind of chill out and do, you know, be slow, be tactical, go loot some things. You actually have a chance to like go into marked room, open up marked room, and not have 19 people all insta coming in every
Yeah.
doorway, all fighting at the same time.
Yeah. And it's funny because I really think that most of the PvP chads, I don't want to speak for anybody, would like kind of get down with that, because the other thing you think is that like, if you're a Giga Chad, Giga Sweat, you know what I mean? Your frustration right now isn't necessarily maybe that you're like running into PvP too quickly, but your frustration is probably that you just can't catch a break. You can't get out of a raid.
Found netcode.
You kill a guy or a team, you're trying to loot them, and then another team rolls up. So then you kill, and then player scavs roll up. And it's like you can't, there's no breath anymore in Tarkov. You know what I mean? Like there's no, if you play streets, if you play lighthouse, if you play reserve, there's no time to breathe. You barely have time to loot. You can never revel in a victory. If you solo a 4-man and you want to be like, okay, I'm going to ditch my armor, I want their armor. Dude, there's another team on you. There's another team on you. There's a dude waiting on your way out. There's player scouts. There's player scouts. There's player scouts. And it's like every raid recently, I feel like I'm leaving 80% of the loot behind. I fill my backpack with what I can fill as quick as possible, and I'm out of there, dude, because you can't catch your breath. So it might benefit both sides of the spectrum, honestly. You know what I mean? Like if you're a Giga Chad, you might have to run 11 more seconds before you run into a team, and you might not like that, but you might enjoy the back end of, if you wipe a 5-man, that's more of a percentage of the total PMCs on the map that gives you some freaking breathing room. You know what I mean? Nobody's really,
2 people, that's enough to fill your entire everything.
And nobody's really like, not that I see going for like crazy high kill. Like there aren't that many people out there being like, I want 10 PMC kills this raid. It's just you kill a team or two and then you have more than enough loot, so you leave. So allowing for some breathing room on the front and the middle and the back end, if there were slightly less PMCs in a raid, I feel like that would honestly benefit all parties. You would have slightly more of a chance to get away from a fight if you were a casual player and you didn't want to fight. You would have slightly more of a chance to take a breath if you're a Giga Chad Slayer and you want to min-max your loot at the end of a fight. Win-win. I don't know. Let us know in the comments if there's something we're missing here.
Oh, god damn, dude. I want...
Make a video on it, Veritas. You won't. I'm just kidding.
You are fucking right. I won't. But dude, I just remember, like, I've got such fucking nostalgia for... There's like two like scenes in my head that I've got such nostalgia for, and it was like rolling into the front of dorms.
Yeah.
And like not having any idea if anybody's there.
Yeah.
But this was before Scav Boss.
Yeah.
And just being like literally horrified, looking down the hallways, like whatever. You've got time to like clear everything. You could fucking hit marked room. You could take your time. It wasn't like, oh, I got this spawn, I can go marked room now.
Yeah.
And then even if you're the first one, you open up marked room, you grab your stuff, you already hear clunk, 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 someone coming up the stairs at the opposite side, and now you're pinned. You got to go out the back, jump off the thing, break your legs. That and rolling up on lumber mill at Woods. Just, bro, walking through lumber mill was what you did every raid.
Yeah.
It's a death sentence with fucking Sturman and everyone else, because everybody's got 700x optics and Sturman has aimbot. So I'm even more tempted to go back, watch my old fucking. I've been meaning to do this. Maybe I should. I don't know. I got to figure out if I want to, but go back and literally do one video where I react and watch all my old videos.
Yeah.
And just to show people like what the game was like then, because there are still a lot of people that have never seen it. They might have seen my Is Tarkov going in the wrong direction, but even that was just I had some kill montages and stuff.
Yeah.
But like just seeing me standing at the top of like the ridge that overlooks Lumbermill
Yeah.
with an SKS with iron sights going pop,
Yeah.
pop,
Yep.
pop at a scav, and the scav like goes prone and is like looking around. And I'm not dead, you know, and I'm just like lining up the shots and everything.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Jesse's froze. Oh God, he turned into a robot.
Can you hear me?
That was horrifying.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly, yeah, but
Am
you're
I
a
back?
JPEG.
Oh no, I'm still a JPEG?
Oh. You're getting there. You're good.
All right.
But yeah, like
Yeah.
and then like having the fucking sun go down and you like your biggest worry in a raid like that was shit, am I going to be able to get to the exfil before the sun goes out?
Yeah,
like the sun goes down. It was a different vibe,
yeah,
dude.
it was a different vibe. And I really don't like yeah, I don't know. I mean, whatever. Yeah, I agree. It's interesting. I think I think there's interesting conversations to have there. I think like it's funny because if you listen to the podcast, like so if you're like, you know, quote unquote average Twitch chatter, if you listen to the podcast, you think you'd probably only listen to the podcast. You'd probably think I'm a like back in my day Andy. I just want to sit and I want to lay down when I want to snipe and I want to just do nothing. But if you watch my gameplay, you know what I mean? I lost 10 million rubles last week because I literally just spawned SJ6 Shift W to PvP and basically win 50% of the time because I'm not that great, but I love the PvP. So I represent both sides of the spectrum so frequently. And I really think there'd be an interesting conversation to like this concept of slowing the raids down doesn't make PvP less. You know, it's funny because what's the one thing the Giga Chads, well, you wouldn't know because you're not like super immersed in the community right now, but like the one word that's being circulated from the top, the 1% that are saying like changes need to happen because PvP is not rewarding. Of course, now there's a lot of ways you can go there. There's a lot of economical changes that need to happen. And there's a lot of people and a lot of theories and a lot of people that disagree. I don't want to go down that. But the thing is like, it doesn't feel rewarding. I think a part of that is because like how churn and burn it is. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, you couldn't lose 10 million rubles in one day because you couldn't play enough raids to lose 10 million rubles in one day. But now you can. You spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn, die, spawn. It's just like, it's so much quicker. It's so much faster. And so I really think there's an interesting conversation and an interesting perspective there where, of course, there's going to be a group of people that wouldn't like that because they really just want that adrenaline fueled PvP, and they actually have something.
Arena. So
they have something coming, but I actually think that there's a lot because it's funny because the conversation we just had was that some percentage of these people that the community considers PvP chads, some percentage of them, their advice is play dead servers. So I feel like those PvP Chad Giga Chads probably wouldn't mind slower raids. You know what I mean? They're doing that to themselves
they like
anyway.
Farming.
Yeah.
They like farming in there's something about the play, like that's why people like ARPGs. That's why I play Diablo. You go in, you do a fucking dungeon, you kill all the things, you grab all the shit, you get out, you rinse and
Number
repeat.
go up. That's good. That's fun. And so so of course I think there'd be people that wouldn't like that, and I think that those people would really love Arena. But I actually think if given a proper time to think about it, more PvP related people than one might think would actually be on board with that, because there'd be one element there of like making it more rewarding because it's not as predictable and it's a little bit more intense as a result of that. Like you said, I don't know if somebody's here or XYZ. And then I also think it would benefit obviously more casual players, right? Because there's a little bit less of that just like knowledge deficiency where these people, I just have the spawns memorized. And if you don't, I will win. It's not even, you might be a better shot than me, but if you're learning streets and you're playing against me on streets and we spawn next to each other, I probably kill you not because I'm better than you, because I know, look, I literally can spawn and I know exactly where to scope in. And if I hit my shot, I just kill you. Like, you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah. I'm not better than you because of that. I've just played streets more. You know what I mean? So I think it would end up being valuable to more casual players as well, because they would do stuff in their raids.
Yeah, I mean, I really do. Someone said something in chat. They said, I don't need 8 fights in a raid. 2 or 3 good fights is fine.
100%. After two or three good fights, I'm actively avoiding the rest of the fights in the raid. I don't want any more
exactly.
fights.
See, that's the thing. And that's, back in the day, it was like 2 fights in a raid was like, holy shit, that was the craziest raid I've ever had. It was almost always you'd get in one fight and that there was probably one or two other squads, and half of one of them died to scavs and the other one just is nowhere near to come to the gunfire. So but when there's 15 people, there's always someone within a 30-second jog of every gunfire in the game.
That's an interesting point too, where having to chase down audio means that by the time you arrive at where that audio is, people could be in a different place. And that makes it intense because you're like, okay, where did they go? But yeah, you're right. Literally, there is always somebody within almost grenade throwing distance from a fight. And it's funny because it's classic. Somebody was like, but how can people want quiet raids early wipe? And it's just like, it's the
wait. Someone asked that.
Yeah. How can people want?
That's how you progress and you build up your fucking
and it's just the classic
nest egg.
It's the classic thing. Somebody was hitting me with this the other day. That logic is the same logic of we were talking about scavs the other day. I hit a cultist 3 times in the head, and then he hit me once and aim punched me up, and we did this. And he hit me with we were talking about the AI, and he was like, I don't want this game to be COD. And that's the same logic. There is 1 degree separating dead raids and what we have. And I don't subscribe to that. There's 100 degrees. And what we're saying is, can we turn the temperature down from 100 to 80? And what you're saying is, you want dead raids? You know what I mean? It's like turning the temperature down a scotch would add some of these benefits, but they wouldn't be dead raids. It would just be harder to literally grenade spam a third party a fight because everyone's so close to each other. So that's what we're talking about. We're not saying dead raids. We're not saying completely quiet raids. We're not saying no PvP. And I understand people, and to give the benefit of the doubt to the chatter is I understand why people don't think that way, because BSG doesn't balance that way, which we're actually going to talk about in a little bit here with another thing that happened. BSG kind of swings that pendulum one way or the other, but it's the same thing I'm asking for with AI, dude. Like, I don't want this game to be Call of Duty. I don't want stupid AI. It's like, dude, if you don't think that there's an eternal amount of space between what that is and what we have now, you're out of your mind. You're just not being honest with yourself. You know what I mean?
Bro, Sealable Bag just said, he made the best point ever. He said, back in the day, there were less fights, but the ability to bring out anything you want because there was no weight system. Versus now, more fights and a limited ability to bring out the loot. So what you have is, you used to be able to kill 2 or 3 people and then as many scavs as you want and loot the map and take everything that you could come across out with you, plus a bunch of backpacks. You'd have time to stack bags and all that. I can't even imagine playing now and then having 17 fucking pilgrims. You just wouldn't have time. That would get you killed. Versus now, you get in one fight with a duo 8 seconds in and you have to leave because there's no reason to be in the fight, because you're not going to increase your average fucking value per slot any more than you have now with a bunch of magazines, stims, grenades, and a couple of fucking a set of armor or a gun or whatever. So it just, God, fuck.
So it's just like there is more than 1 degree separating what we have and everybody's worst fears. And I just wish more people would understand that, or take a second to do that. Because I don't know. That was a funny situation. We were talking the AI thing. I died to some Super Bowl crap. We were talking about it, and he hit me with the I don't want it to be COD. And I said the same thing. I was like, dude, there's 1,000 degrees between, and I want him to change it a little bit. And he hit me with the slippery slope. And I was like, dude. I was like, I don't want to. I'm pretty sure I was like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. I think I said that to him. And then he hit me with the, he was like, he said, I agree scavs need to be tuned. But, like, shame on you for asking a question and not wanting the answer. That was his like final message. And I was like, wait, I said I want scavs to be tuned. You said I don't want them to be overtuned. I said I only want them tuned a little bit. You said that's a slippery slope. I said I don't like talking with you. You said scavs need to be tuned, but I'm a baby for asking a question, not wanting the answer. I was like, is that the conversation that we just had? It was fascinating. It was honestly like,
comments on the post.
yeah, it was like a psychology lesson right there. I was like, my brain was frying. Anyway,
bro, like the Second Amendment of the United States, if you don't allow me to own a literal Apache helicopter with nuclear missiles on it, I have become a slave to the tyranny of the government tomorrow.
Yeah. But then ending that conversation
don't tread on my helicopter.
But then punctuating that conversation with like, but I agree that the gun laws need to be changed a little bit. I was like, what? I was like, dude,
but I
you
agree
just
that like
said what I said.
Yeah,
dude.
It's almost like people overreact and argue in bad faith against straw men.
Yeah.
And then when they realize it, kind of have to double down and then pretend like they're the reasonable ones.
Straw man. Well, there's more streamer challenge things I want to get to. But before we do, I want to take a second and thank the sponsor for this episode of the podcast, and that is HelloFresh. With HelloFresh, you get, hey there, fresh. You get farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Skip the trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. Today, I had epic nacho mac and cheese, and it was delicious.
Bro, I didn't know they had that.
It was delicious.
I didn't have anything at all today, actually. I haven't even eaten, which is not good because my wife went to the office and worked. But yesterday, I had the brown sugar, what was it? The brown sugar bourbon pork meatloaf.
Yeah. Pork. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Bro, oh my good God.
Sweet nectar.
That's like one of those things that I want to eat it every day, and I would eat it every day for like a month.
Yep.
It's so good. And I've still been healthy, still been going to the gym.
Nice.
And honestly, it would be a massive waste of time and effort if I wasn't actually eating good, healthy food.
Yep. Not overeating, eating
no shortage of
a little bit of everything. You got veggies, you got carbs, you got meat. It's great. The holiday season is coming and it gets busy. HelloFresh has like 15-minute meals. They have super quick meals. You can choose between over 45 weekly recipes. You can choose if you want, keto friendly, protein plus, if you want 15-minute meals, if you just want a little bit of everything. There's tons to choose from, extremely customizable with how many you get per week, how often you do it. You want to take a week off, you want to do more this week, you want to do less this week. It's super convenient, super hassle-free. I also feel better not throwing away a bunch of food. I need some cilantro for the guac I'm going to make, and I have to buy a bushel full, right? And then I make my guac, and then what do? This sits in the fridge for 3 weeks, and I throw it away, right? So you just get exactly what you need for everything, which is pretty awesome. They also,
oh my God, let me read a couple of these things on the menu real quick. White cheddar crunch burger.
Stop.
Italian beef stuffed peppers.
Yep.
Crispy buffalo spice chicken.
Yep.
Dude, this all looks incredible. I'm so hungry, actually, now. The chicken and pepper enchiladas.
Dude, it's so good. They have over 100 weekly curated picks from their HelloFresh market where you can do like appetizers or breakfasts or other pre-portioned meals. It's pretty great. It's pretty great. You want to know what else is great? The new updated promo. You can go to HelloFresh.com/Pogcast free and use code PODCASTFREE for free breakfast for life. One breakfast item per box as long as your subscription is active. That is a free breakfast for life at HelloFresh.com/Pogcastfree with code PODCASTFREE.
That's actually news to me. I did not even know that.
Literally every box They give you a free breakfast item for as long as you have your subscription active. And that's why HelloFresh is America's #1 meal kit. Thank you so much, HelloFresh, for sponsoring this episode. Veritas' mind is blown.
I'm actually pissed, dude. I need to get me some of that. I haven't had any of their breakfast stuff yet, and actually, like,
neither have I. And breakfast,
so good.
I want that because I don't. Yeah, I never eat anything for breakfast.
I eat breakfast for every meal. Like,
really?
I'll have waffles for dinner, and yeah. I
mean, I should eat breakfast for dinner more often because I don't eat breakfast. I love breakfast food, but I'm never hungry in the morning, so it's like
that's the most important meal of the day, Jessica.
I know. My favorite breakfast is like Waffle House, 1 a.m. with the boys.
I have been to Waffle House once in my life, and I have to tell you,
what? It was delicious.
They don't have Waffle House around here, but I stopped when I drove down to Nolans with my sister.
Nolans,
which was the worst. I don't know. I feel like I've talked about this recently. It was a 24-hour drive and with her Scion TC.
Woof.
That had like an entire house worth of like everything stuffed in there somehow.
Yeah.
With my fucking sister, like, oh my god, I would have blown my. Anyway, fucking. We stopped at Waffle House, and I've never felt so uncomfortable in a restaurant in my entire life.
Yeah,
dude.
That's part of the charm.
It was like, did they have like Denny's?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like Denny's was on meth, run by people on crack.
Yeah. If you're not worried that an actual fist fight is about to break out between staff and the customers, then you're not doing it right.
Like, I was worried there was like blood on my plate that wasn't from anything that should have been.
That's just ketchup, bruv.
I don't know, man.
Dude,
man.
Waffle House. But like Waffle House with the sun up is like a sin, bro. It's that 1 a.m. vibe, dude.
That's like Denny's.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't gone to Denny's sober before 10 p.m.
Exactly.
Actually, last time I went to Denny's, they still had a smoking section.
Yo.
How fucking old am I?
You're either 70 or like Denny's is like crazy.
When did Denny's get rid of smoking section? It was probably 1997. The smoking section at Denny's with your friends at 2 a.m. on Reddit. Gen X. Wow. Is that what we are? Are we Gen X?
I don't know.
I don't
know.
Wait,
we're
now
millennials.
Millennials, right.
Yeah.
What's Gen X?
I don't know.
Wait, no, I feel like
I think Gen X is between
millennial
and baby boomer. I think like boomer
so like
became
if you're like 40 now, you were like 45, you were a Gen Xer.
Yeah, but like boomer just became like if you're old, you're a boomer. You know what I mean? Like I call myself a boomer. Gen X just got like assimilated into boomer.
They were children in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah.
So they were being born from 65 to 80.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So, well, yeah, it makes sense that Gen Xers would have been like, older enough to probably have a lot more years where they'd remember the smoking section.
Yeah.
Towers of creamers while shaking one or two. Jesus Christ, dude. Now I need to. There's a Gen X Reddit.
Of course.
God almighty. That's like basically Facebook now.
Yeah. Well, the boomers inhabited Facebook. They took it over.
Literally the only time I'm involved in Facebook is when my grandmother wants to start a group chat for like, who's coming over for Thanksgiving? That's what Facebook is used for. This is the world we live in. And just wait, they're coming for Twitter. They're coming for Instagram.
Yep.
That's what the X in Twitter. It's just Gen X. Oh my God, can you imagine if that was the reason why they changed it? Stupid name,
bro. It is stupid. I'm never calling it that ever in my life. Okay. So the other so that we went so far off. I just malfunctioned. We went so far off from the streamer challenge. That was all the surface level drama with the servers and like, people doing that. But then you start, you know what I mean? Then the rumors start flying. Like this guy's getting his friends to Q snipe him, and then they all just DC, so he's got a dead raid. You know what I mean? He just has 8 dudes Q sniping him, and then they all just DC from the raid.
Wait, was that like actually found to have happened?
I don't know. I don't care enough. I care just enough to like when somebody says that in my chat, I tuck it into the podcast folder in my brain where I was like, ooh, drama we can talk about on the podcast. I genuinely don't care enough. I don't even know who that accusation was made against, honestly. But it was made and people are mad and the Reddit is fuming. And then dude. And then you, of course, it wouldn't be Escape from Tarkov if, you know, cheating and cheaters didn't get involved. Because, I mean, literally, this was basically like an invitation to snipe streamers. You know what map they're going to be on. It's public servers. You know what I mean? You can find them. At one point, Trey24K tweeted the like card, because there's like a leaderboard on the website so you can see like where everybody is. The third
So they have a live leaderboard.
Live leaderboard. The third place dude at the time was also selling a 200 pack of LEDXs on the flea for 1.1 million USD. And Trey just said,
What the fuck?
And apparently that person was disqualified from the tournament today. That was like 2-3 days ago. Trey tweeted that, and then like apparently that person got disqualified. Apparently somebody else that was in the top 10 got disqualified today as well. Like I don't know why. I think there were rumors of cheating or something. Dude, I don't know. It's just a cluster, bro. It's a freaking cluster. So, I'll say this. I was worried I was going to get FOMO by not participating. Because it's so fun. It's so funny now because it's like
and did you?
Yeah, no. It's because at first people were like, dude, why didn't you do the challenge? Why didn't you do the challenge? Why didn't you do the challenge? First 3 days, that was the question. And then today I got a bunch of, why'd you drop out of the challenge? I was like, dude, I didn't even drop out, dude. Like people are just assuming that I competed and then dropped out. I was like, dude, I didn't even, this is exactly why. I don't know. But, it's fascinating. I also missed out on tweeting that I quit. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. So that's the streamer challenge. We'll see what happens. I hope they sanitize it up and you know, I really hope whoever wins like deserves it, man. You know what I mean? Whoever can last 9 days doing that and crushes it, I hope they deserve it. I hope their item is sick. And I hope, you know, it's not tainted by some of this other stuff. I will be interested to see 1,500 people started. I would love to know how many people finish it. Like, I think we're probably close
11.
to like, I think we're probably close to like 30% have quit, 40% have quit. Like, it's a lot of people quit. Yeah, the dude just wins by default because he's the only one participating on day 9.
Imagine?
Dude.
Honestly, though, that would be a cool way of doing it, where like there was like elimination.
Yeah,
that would actually be an interesting way to sort of handle the whole you get behind on points.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if every day at the end of the day, like the bottom 3 got removed and the points got reset.
Yeah. I don't know. Some other stuff that happened. We were talking about this earlier. We were talking about like balancing and like the pendulum swinging. You know, the reason people are like, oh, if you don't change the AI, it'll be Call of Duty. So I play a lot of streets and I farm a lot of. I don't really farm Kaban in the sense of like I go to streets to get his item, but like when Kaban is there, I enjoy fighting him. And I fought him a lot, dude. I've killed that dude probably like 50 times this wipe. All of a sudden, they absolutely changed the AI for the whole Kaban situation. Like, they absolutely changed it. And it just was like, it was just such a classic, like, oh, this isn't fun anymore? Okay, I get it. Like, they did the exact same thing they did to Killa, but Kaban has 11 guards and 6 sniper scavs that guard him. So it's just like super toxic. All of a sudden, all of his guards are like way more aggro. They will chase you way farther. And you can't basically like, I mean, for like 2 days, I was trying to like figure out what the new strat was to kill him. And I almost couldn't kill him because you don't have a magazine with a high enough capacity. Because he really has like 6 guards, but then there's always like 5 or 6 other AI scavs, and they all assume the AI of a guard. So even though they're not a guard. So if you aggro them, like if you're in one of the shipping containers, all of them will charge you. Like I died, I think 4 times over the course of 2 days just reloading because I'm out of ammo. But you kill one and then another one comes in and you kill it. Another one comes in and you start reloading and another one comes in and you just start shooting at you. Like they just full aggro you. The sniper scavs are insane. And then instead of Kaban spawning in one of 2 places, he can just be anywhere in the Lexos thing. So there was a few times where I killed a bunch of the guards and I rolled up and he's got Killa's reaction time. So I thought he was maybe over here to the right. He was to the left. I'm dead. Like there's no taunts. There's no anything. And he's just like standing, over here this time. And so it was just funny because we were talking and we were like, man, this isn't fun anymore. And the people that they'd made this change for, which is most likely the people that were farming Killa, farming Kaban, will still be able to farm him. It's just grenade spam. Like you just need, instead of bringing 2 grenades now, you need to bring 6 because you need to throw one over here. If he's not over there, you throw one over there. If he's not over there, you throw it over there. And eventually you'll get it and he'll run out at you and you can kill him. But if you don't have 6 grenades, it's borderline impossible. Now, I was mulling about that for like a while, but then it almost today felt like they reverted it. It was super weird. Well, we killed him like 3 times today, and it was like exactly like the old AI. None of them pushed. Kaban was in his normal spots. It was super weird. But for 2 full days, I was playing solo most of the time. My entire mission was like, I'm just gonna try and learn the new AI and kill Kaban, and I pretty much couldn't do it. It was interesting. But then it looked.
You fell off.
I suck. Yeah, based and true. And then the only other thing was there was an update today. There was 4 hours of downtime, and then there was no patch notes. It was like
not even like a technical update.
Not even a tweet. Not even a technical update behind the scenes. They were like, game's going down, game is up. Those were the tweets. No patch notes, which was fascinating. I didn't really care, but it was just fascinating that like, oh, I wonder what it was. The only thing that people have been able to suss out where like I could do this yesterday and I can't do it today is people were abusing the I don't remember what it's called. The price the pricing adjustments of buying copies of the game in different parts of the world. So like because of like income inequalities, I guess, like basically if you bought the CIS, the like Russian region version of the game, it came out to like $18 United States dollars. And then you could just activate it in the US and then you would have your copy of the game. Well, they region locked it. So you can't purchase those types of games unless you are in those regions. That started circulating around pretty quickly afterwards, which I didn't even know was a thing. I didn't know they had pricing adjustments for that. It probably explains a lot of it's funny because I didn't even know that to defend the whole like they ban the cheaters and then they make all the money. It's like, who's buying full price copies of the game if you're cheating, if this is an option, right? Like
yeah, I mean, there's always different prices for games. And I mean, most products, I
guess I just didn't realize it was that extreme.
Yeah. Didn't realize it was extreme enough to warrant anybody going out of their way to. Yeah, no.
And I'm definitely not saying that was what the 4-hour downtime was. Like, the whole game doesn't need to go down for 4 hours to make that change. All I know is that happened today as well. You know what I mean? So
true and real.
So that's this game. This lovely, fantastic game. It is, in fact, November, and I am.
Oh my god, my birthday's tomorrow.
Prage.
Literally just.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, I'm
all right, chat. Let's sing.
Halfway to 40.
Half. That reminds me. Have you seen all these clips? Like, so many people are like, dude, kid's born today? are gonna see the year 3000, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" Dude, I've seen so many clips. Like, whoa! And then somebody in the room's like, "Are you guys stupid?"
Someone whips out a TI-83. He's like, "Is that right?
Yeah.
Yo, you sure, man?"
Yeah. So what's going on with you? How's yeah, I saw you playing Diablo. You've been working on the video. What's
Yeah, just been working on the
going on?
video. It's 2 hours and 32 minutes long.
Jesus.
And it's getting to the last kind of couple of sections where I can start to wrap it up. I think it's going to be 3 hours.
Would you ever do like director's cuts of your videos on like your Patreon? Like, I had to cut all this out because for time, but I did all this research on this stuff. So here's like slightly less produced 4.5 hour version.
No, because I never cut things.
Okay, understood. I guess if that was
Like,
the case,
it's that
this
long.
video would be 90 minutes, and then you would have
Yep.
the stuff. But no, it's 2. Okay. Understood.
Yeah. I don't usually cut much of anything. I feel like there was something that I did cut. Actually, so I did do one thing, and it was, I don't know if it was like the Steam audio video. All I remember is that I had a clip that was like, it was the Top Gear. No, it was the Tarkov going the wrong direction.
Oh.
Where, you know, the Reliant Robin, the 3-wheeled car?
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Jeremy Clarkson pulling around the corner and going like,
Yeah.
that whole thing. Which actually, you know what? I should fucking pull it up now. I have that uploaded on my, it's like private on my YouTube. Because it, and I'm glad I did this. This is the first time I ever actually went and uploaded something beforehand in a small section to see if YouTube would hit me with a copyright.
Oh.
And they did. So I've done that a couple times.
You can't play it because this is going on YouTube.
Now, okay, here's the thing. Do you think is their algorithm good enough to detect a partially cut off?
Like 4 of my YouTube streams have been demonetized for like 3 seconds. I didn't realize X, Y, or Z.
Damn, I guess you'll just have to fucking sub to my personal Patreon
Do
if you want to see. No, but it was basically like how clumsy we feel like as PMCs moving with the weight system.
Yes.
Was like the Jeremy Clarkson is driving the 3-wheel thing, and he's like, all right, we're going to take off in the Reliant, right? And he takes the first turn, and it just goes on its side, rolls over, and then like a random passerby on the street just like rolls the car up, and then he just keeps, in mid-conversation, he goes to take a turn, and it just flips over and slides.
Dude.
And I had this whole thing where actually I even went so far as to like overlay the like welcome to hell thing that's on the brick wall in customs. I put on the brick wall because when he pulls out of the garage, the first thing, there's a brick wall there that I'm like, that looks just like the one in customs. So I like literally made it look like Tarkov. But yeah, there was like a little segment there that was really good that I had to pull out. But otherwise that was the only thing.
I guess that makes sense. But so you said it's 2.5 hours long as of now, and you're almost done with it?
Yeah, I think it's going to be 3 hours. I'm going to try to keep it under 3. Yeah. I just got through talking about how his second record. Well, so the whole like intro part is talking about like, who are the people? What's the controversy?
Yeah.
What's the evidence? What are some of the counterclaims? Here's why those are wrong.
Yeah.
And then, the whole thing about him playing on an emulator and whatever is like that's the basis of the accusations. And what he's been saying for so long. This is the Billy Mitchell, King of Kong, for those of you guys who don't know. His whole thing this whole time has been, I did these scores live in front of audiences at events. So the video that you doing an analysis showing that I played on an emulator couldn't have happened because I played live. Well, the second, I'll say the second of 3 controversial scores, he did it at a mortgage brokers convention. It was an 80s themed mortgage brokers convention, which is why they hired him to, Pac-Man, Donkey Kong arcade, retro stuff. So he had a machine brought in, an arcade machine. They went through all this rigmarole. He had 2 Twin Galaxies, is like the official website that, adjudicates the scores and blah, blah, blah. It's like the old school arcade speedrun.com.
Yeah.
Two Twin Galaxies judges were there. There were 2 witnesses that were like women who worked at the mortgage brokers convention, who were there. There's a guy who was a GameStop manager at the time, who's the one that like installed the PCB board that was shipped straight from Nintendo, so that they would know that it wasn't invalid board. All the stuff, he padlocked the whole thing. And then there was a witness there that was like a mortgage broker guy that was a witness. And it's like all of these people all corroborate that I played in front of, there was thousands of people at this convention in and out all day long. Now, the score, in order to like get a high score in Donkey Kong, it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes, basically.
Damn.
That's how long his record tape is. It's like 2:39 or something like that.
Jeez.
Now here's the problem. Like, you would think that all of those things, I go through he has a 260 or 165 page evidence document that like him or his son put together, and it's like,
damn,
everything is spelled wrong. Half the stuff's upside down. It's like the worst and most embarrassing. And that's what he like brought to court. Anyway, so I went through every witness statement, and I'm like, okay, cool. Let's see what we already know that, he played on an emulator because that's what all the evidence says.
Yeah.
Now let's go ahead and take a look at, let's just humor him and say, okay, even though it doesn't matter, because like, Barry Bonds, I think I mentioned this before. Barry, like 1 million people saw Barry Bonds hit a gajillion home runs. And they would all testify to it in court. But the fact that the drug tests came back and said that he was on fucking Balco and he did steroids, it makes the witness testimony irrelevant.
Yes.
And that's effectively, we have the digital equivalent of he failed the drug test.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you're buddies, but even then, it still breaks down. One of the judges, Todd Rogers, is arguably the most infamous, prolific cheater in retro video gaming history, with hundreds of scores that were like, that he entered into the database himself as high scores that were like 10 times what any of the second place records were, that were like impossible scores. Like a game that only does points in multiples of 5, and his high score ended in like a 7. It's like, there's no way to get that, like ridiculous things like that.
So great eyewitness testimony, for sure.
Well, he's the main judge. The second judge, his girlfriend.
Of course.
So, and they both testified that the arcade cabinet was an unmodified arcade cabinet. Okay, cool. That's what's required. It needs to be a stock original unmodified. One of his other, what do you call it? Witnesses. That was like the mortgage broker dude. It turns out they went to high school together. They're like literally opposite each other in the yearbook, which by itself, not a big deal.
Yep.
It's like you could say, okay, they're friends, but
yeah,
it's questionable, but it's still okay. Like, the problem is that he was charged and convicted of multiple crimes, including conspiracy to commit securities fraud, unregistered brokerage activity, conspiracy, money laundering, criminal contempt. SEC like violations multiple times, pleading guilty to felony. So I'm sure he's a trustworthy guy. He said he was there, but he didn't see the score. He was just there when it happened. So it's like, it's not even even if he was the Pope, right? It still is like,
I was just there. Like,
I was standing there. A bunch of people all say that that there was like the TV was above the arcade cabinet, so that, because like if you're standing in front playing an arcade game, people can't really see unless you're at. So they had a TV. Now that requires special cables and stuff coming out of the back. especially going into the VCR, which is where the videotape was recorded to.
Yeah.
The problem is that the GameStop manager that is the one that, according to all the people involved, said he's the guy who hooked everything up. He's like, there was no AV cables. I didn't hook up any of those things. I put the PCB board in, I locked it up, and there was a power cord. So there was nothing connected to the VCR. And then if you look at the photos, because some photos recently came up where him and Todd Rogers and everybody are standing in front of the arcade machine, there's no TV on top. And you can see it's got an aftermarket joystick that Billy said himself in his testimony, I would never play on anything that wasn't a black joystick. I would never play it. I never absolutely wouldn't do it. I would walk away from it. It's always a black top joystick. Wouldn't do it. And they show him pictures and he's like,
oh shit.
I don't remember it. I remember it being a black joystick. I remember it, and he's
Have
like,
you heard of Photoshop?
Yeah, I mean, he basically is like, unless it was modified in the picture. And the guy's like, okay, are you claiming that this was photoshopped? He's like, no, I wasn't saying that. Sure you weren't.
Oh God, bro.
It's like, so he's got all of this evidence that proves he did it live, and all of it's trash and garbage. And then you have the tape that shows it was done on an emulator. That's like
unreal.
And that everything I just explained was like 6 minutes of my 3 hour.
Oh my God.
And I'm just constantly going, but wait, there's more.
That's insane.
It's real bad, dude.
I just can't imagine, like, isn't he tired? Isn't he tired of carrying this? You know what I mean? Just like, but I guess I'm thinking through a logical perspective, right?
Yeah, no. I mean, it's this the last 40 years of this man's life has been dedicated to constructing, and this is my opinion, the myth that he is a god tier greatest gamer of all time. He was the video game player of the century in 1999. He won amongst no other nominees given to him by his buddy who ran Twin Galaxies, who just decided he was like and the whole thing is just crumbling. And the irony is that it's all because of his lawsuit. Like, he sued Twin Galaxies for taking his scores down. And then basically, as a part of that, they countersued him for over $6 million. The totals are actually genius. So one of the things he claims is that he got a perfect Pac-Man score, which is 3,333,360. So they're suing him for like two things. And the first number is $3,333,360 for like this one thing. And then the other thing is the three scores, the Donkey Kong scores added together, which is like another 3 million and change. And that's how much they're suing him for fraud.
Dude. Because
Billy was a part of, I don't remember the details off the top of my head. So if you're watching this in court now, I'm innocent. Something along the lines of like he was a part of, or at least a shareholder at one point of the company or whatever. But basically, he was at least the figurehead of Twin Galaxies. Like, he was the poster child of this whole thing about how they're this premier whatever. So he's suing the current owners of Twin Galaxies now, who bought the company for all this money. If all of the things that him and the owner of Twin Galaxies, the original owner, if they all effectively lied, well, then that inflated the value of the company that he paid for. I mean, it's effectively fraud, right? It's fraud. So they're suing him for fraud. And as a part of that, now he has to prove he did all the things he did, which is like, oh, fuck. I can't just say my friends were there. Now he's got to have witness statements.
That's fascinating. So like, so much of this is just because he sued them. And then they countersued, and then now he has to prove everything he's ever said.
Like, the video game player of the century is the best. It's the best part too, because it's the wildest story. He says he got it from Namco because he went. Masaya Nakamura was the guy who like founded Namco, or father of Pac-Man, or I forget exactly what his title was, but he handed him an award in '99 in Japan at like the Tokyo Game Show for. Well, actually, I can't say that he handed him an award. He was on stage with Nakamura to honor him for getting the perfect score in Pac-Man. And they Now, Billy came home, and you see him on stage, and over for like a decade and a half, he'd always be carrying around. It's in the King of Kong too. They're carrying around this plaque, okay, that's got like a Pac-Man on it, and it's got like a a brass thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all of the photos we have, if you zoom in on it and you read it, what it looks like he took like a letter and brought it to like a trophy shop and had them like print the engrave the letter onto the little, because it has like the address in the upper left hand corner, and like it just looks like a letter. Like if you're gonna get a plaque for an award, it doesn't have like your name and your address in the upper left hand corner, which is just so weird. And it's congratulating him on getting that score, and that's it. It's congratulating him on his Pac-Man for like the 25th anniversary of Pac-Man or whatever. He comes home. Walter Day, the guy who owned Twin Galaxies at the time, gives him this cheap ass fucking little certificate that's like video game player of the century. And he says, Masaya Nakamura gave me this trophy as the video game player of the century. And it's like, Billy, it doesn't say that. And he's been saying, yep, well, that's what happened. That's what happened. Until now, he has to prove it. And now his story is, oh, well, he gave me 2 trophies. One of them said this other thing, but the other one was video game player. And they're like,
I can't find it.
Do you have any photos? You can't find it. He doesn't know where it went. Oh, okay, never mind. I donated it to the International Video Game Hall of Fame. And they go, okay. Well, the fact of the matter is that Billy is a director of like the International Video Game Hall of Fame, which he denied under oath. But then when you go to the website and you talk to other people there, they're all like, yeah, he's been there since like 2009 or whatever. But he needs to distance himself from the thing that he claims he donated it to them. They're like, we don't fucking have it. One of his little buddy soldier guys goes there, picks it up, goes to pick up the trophy. You look at the trophy and it's clearly fabricated. Yeah. It's fake. It's just not real. So now it's like it's not just lying anymore for clout. It's fucking perjury.
Yeah. Yep. Dude.
It's the wildest fucking story.
It's just like, it's like stressful. It's stressful to just like.
Someone just said in chat he should stream some Pac-Man. I would watch. I mean, he streams Donkey Kong. He's on Twitch every now and then.
Does he really?
Nobody really watches him. Yeah, his son like forces him to basically stream. That's a whole other fucking story. His son's a part of the whole shebang.
That's awful.
Billy Jr. is a real interesting
streams
fella.
On Twitch. That's insane.
Yeah, but I think is his name Billy Pac-Man? I forget what his name is. Billy Mitchell. No, it's just Billy_Mitchell. He last streamed. Oh wait, has he not streamed recently? Recent highlights and uploads. Wait, where past broadcasts? Are they all gone? Did he delete them? Wait, last time I checked, there were some there. I don't know. Maybe they're gone. Maybe not. Maybe he hasn't streamed recently. I might be out of my mind.
Dude. Out of control.
Oh my God.
Control.
And the one last thing, because I just found it yesterday. And it blew my mind, dude. In an interview, and this is the kind of thing that he says every time he talks. Every time he talks, he says something like this. He said recently, he's constantly getting, because in the King of Kong, there's a whole thing about him always saying that he does stuff live and how that's what you're supposed to do, while the other guy who is like his competitor is actually coming to these events going, Billy, where are you? And Billy's at home, and Billy submits a tape that gets the record.
Oof.
And then he says, I've never submitted tapes. It's always been live. So it's like the complete other opposite, right?
Yeah.
So he's so self-conscious that he always has to defend that. Well, in this interview, he basically said, you know, I've been streaming on Twitch. I do all these things. I got these scores on Twitch, all this stuff. And you know what I didn't know? And it was kind of crazy to me. I didn't realize that none of these speedrunner, none of these competitive gamers, they all just upload their videos to Twitch. And I've always done it live. And you know what? I'm really proud to say that like he's changed the landscape of Twitch, that now people are doing it live on Twitch. And like, thanks to me. And he's proud to say that. And that was like 3 years ago.
Jesus Christ.
Like, it's not even like
That's dude.
it's not even I stole the $1 million from the baby charity. It's I donated $10 million. It's like the complete opposite, cranked up to 10. Like, what do you mean?
Dude.
I didn't know all these other people did this thing. I'm glad that they're now doing it because I was doing it from the beginning.
Oh my God. Dude, his Twitch. Hello, I'm Billy Mitchell, video game player of the century. Dude, that is just unreal. That is just unreal. God's gift to society. Holy Christ. That's wild.
What a man. When someone's pointed out, if you look at pictures of him, and you'll never be able to unsee it. They've done two things. They've either said that his hair looks like a hoodie, and I'm gonna pull up a picture and it's gonna make sense.
Okay.
Shortly. Or that his hair looks like Lego hair. Because it's just like it's like out here, but it doesn't move. So it literally looks like Lego hair. But when they pointed out that it looked like a hoodie, it's impossible to unsee. Let me fucking, oh my God. Every picture now, you have to squint a little bit. But like tell me it doesn't look like a hoodie, dude.
That looks like a hoodie. I don't even have to squint. That looks like he just
now whenever I see him, I picture that he's just rocking a hoodie, which makes him look way more. Honestly, it makes him look way cooler.
Way cooler.
Like,
way more
like
sinister.
Yeah, like Breaking Bad. What the fuck's his name?
Walter
Heisenberg.
White.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He looks like Heisenberg with a hoodie on.
Dude. Billy. Oh, Billy.
Hoodie Mitchell.
Hoodie Mitchell. That's insane. Well, I'm excited for the video to come out. Excited to watch it. Crazy.
Yeah, it's just still got some legal stuff to sort out, but
understandable. Yep.
Trying to keep myself from getting sued.
That's a smart thing to do.
Which honestly, what it means is that I'm currently spending probably 3 times what I'll make on the video before I make the video to prevent myself from getting sued. Because lawyers are like, $500 an hour.
Yeah.
And, every time I have a couple of questions, it's a 2-hour phone call. So, fuck me. But
damn,
I don't know. I wonder, dude, like if I were to get sued for a bunch of money, like I don't think anybody would care if I like went and tried to crowdfund like money to help like support the fucking legal fees or whatever.
No.
I just don't know. Like part of me is like I've got that to fall back on. Like my life won't be fucking ruined by this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like I also don't know.
I mean, you're
if that would be like enough. I mean, like I could win a lawsuit and still pay $200,000.
Yeah, it's scuffed.
All for a video,
So I mean, so you're doing it right by trying to preemptively.
But here's the downside, though. There's a chance that he never would have sued me ever.
For sure.
So because he's a fucking bully and a tyrant,
yeah,
I need to lose $5,000 on this video.
Yeah.
Because I want to tell a story and entertain people. It's so fucking painful.
Yep. It is.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yuck. Anyway.
Yeah. Did you add this event thing?
Oh yeah, I was actually gonna ask you. I told you about the thing that was like in December that was possibly gonna be. So I ended up responding back with like effectively an offer.
Yeah.
I don't think it had to do with the offer because they would have countered. I think they would have countered. But they basically like changed the plans, like no longer a thing.
Aww.
And I wonder, I never signed an NDA. It was just a couple of emails back and forth. So like, can I talk about it? I don't even know.
I'm
I'm sure I can. well, okay, I'll just fucking say it, right? Like I didn't sign anything, so it's not like
Yeah.
I can't talk about originally what I had been reached out to by a third party company, and I don't know whose behalf it was on,
Yeah.
but there was an event, DreamHack Hanover in Germany in December. I think I'm guessing based on the timing, I thought that there was going to be like, I don't know, maybe there's like an arena thing or
Yeah.
I don't know, but basically I think BSG is going to be there,
Yeah.
and I got asked to basically do like a kind of like a mini concert. I was kind of going to be like opening for an event, at least was how it
Yeah.
was.
Okay.
And I like literally spent a while like working on like some backing tracks because I was gonna play. Well, at least my plan was, and what I kind of proposed was to play 3 songs from the fucking Tarkov OST.
Oh yeah, because you've
So
covered a bunch
it was
of them.
going to be
Yeah.
like a medley of Prepare to Escape, Rules of Engagement, and Denial. Um, and I had all the stems from the covers that I did before and
Dude.
started to make like a backing track for the whole thing. It would have been probably like 6 or 7 minutes, and I was nervous as fuck because like
Yeah, it's
I
so
would have been in
sick
front of a
though.
bunch of people and it was stressing me the hell out. But yeah, they basically said, yeah, change of plans. I think they have a
Oh
different idea for
man,
what they want to do. So I'm like kind of disappointed,
It-
while at the same time
a
kind of
little
relieved.
relieved. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I get that.
I didn't like. I wanted to do it, but I didn't want to do it. I hate committing to things.
I get that. I get that.
It's like the pressure of when you have like homework. Like I don't want to commit to anything anymore that I don't fucking have to.
Yep, I feel that.
Um,
But at the same
But I
time, it's
also
like,
not going to say no.
yeah, because it would have been sick to like go to Germany and do freaking DreamHack and yeah.
Just to play guitar. It was funny because I recently went to a Queen concert. I took my dad, my sister,
Oh yeah.
and my other sister. And I remember my sister was like, "Haven't you ever thought about being like on stage?" And I'm like, "Fuck that! Like it's so stressful.
Yeah.
Like it's totally different. I'd rather like play for 100,000 people during Twitch drops in my basement.
Yeah.
And like there's no pressure there whatsoever.
Yeah.
But at this, I would have regretted it my whole fucking life if I had said no. So I'm glad I didn't say no. They gave me like I got out without having to regret anything. So it's like okay.
Yep. There you go. It worked out.
But yeah, that's what I had alluded to. I think I talked about.
We talked about that last week. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, man, worked out, but didn't work out. A little bit of both.
Indeed.
The only other thing I really have was, did you see, like, did anybody throw in your chat, like, the trailer for that new game coming out called Gray Zone Warfare, I think is what it's called?
Gray Zone Warfare.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I got jump scared by Billy zoom in.
Billy.
The fucking hoodie.
Billy Hoodie Man.
Gray Zone Warfare.
By Madfinger Games.
Dude, I typed it into YouTube and it like didn't even like auto complete it as is it like brand new?
Yeah,
like
I mean,
brand new.
Just like
It
a
like
few
didn't
days
even
ago.
like auto complete. Okay, we've got okay. I hate to say it, but like first impression is that's some like PlayStation 2 like Tony Hawk face.
Oh, the face? Yeah.
Not that I really fucking care.
No,
like,
yeah.
it wouldn't matter at all. But I just noticed it and I'm like, oh shit.
Tony
That
Hawk
looked
face.
like a Tony Hawk character.
No, it's interesting. I mean, like, I have no idea. Basically, it's supposed to be the game we've talked about.
It looks sick so far.
Open world, Unreal Engine 5.
Ooh, that looks nice.
Daisy plus Tarkov.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Like,
that's a clean little.
Yeah, PvP, PvE, open world, quests, traders, advanced weapon modding, advanced medical system.
Oh, the gun. The fucking dude. Honestly, that looks like nice. Like a nice, realistic recoil system.
Yeah.
That isn't like AIDS.
Yep.
God, every fucking game now has to have like, we open up the fucking Capri Sun with your hands. Honestly, they need to have a Capri Sun, and they need to put the straw in the bottom of the pouch, like I still do to this day.
Oh my god, yeah.
I refuse to put it in the top because I mean, I can't not drink a Capri Sun in 2 sips.
Yeah.
But I put it in the bottom, dude. That's how Giga Chads open a fucking Capri Sun.
But
honestly, it looks rad.
Yeah,
dude.
I mean, they literally came out of nowhere. They dropped a trailer for this, and yeah, supposed to be a few people got some like press materials for it. But yeah, man, I mean, like I've said a million times, dude, that I want open world. I want like DayZ plus Tarkov, and this is apparently very inspired by.
It's Grazy.
Grazy. Yep. But it looks pretty sick, and built on Unreal. We have no real like information about servers, how they work, how big they are, you know, nothing. But the trailer dropped and it made some waves. It looks pretty sick.
I wonder if one day they'll make it so that you're not inserting the stock of the gun in your Adam's apple. I don't know. I don't know how else you would do it. Like, I don't know how to make it. But
yeah, because the only other way, because you tilt your head, you know what I mean? But like when I tilt my head, it doesn't tilt my perspective of the world.
I don't know. I'm so glad I'm like not on camera right now. Like, my
dude,
head's like to the side. I'm like. But dude, honestly, like this is.
Yeah.
It's satisfying because it's like,
dude, I love
it's controllable.
Yeah.
Fucking recoil.
And
dude.
I love that feedback of it coming. Tarkov has no feedback of it coming towards you. Tarkov's feedback is only vertical. And I love that because that's what would happen. If I'm actually shouldering a rifle and I'm shooting, it's coming towards me with each shot. It's not just going straight up in a freaking vertical line. So I think that's a really cool way to simulate recoil without it being AIDS.
I have a video of one of us shooting full auto. I think this is you. Maybe. Airwing did like all of these videos in fucking slow-mo.
Yeah.
It's like and then it's like 30 seconds of nothing before you start shooting.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is a perfect fucking example. Okay, I think this is you. Wait, I can't tell now. I think this is you.
Doesn't matter. Yeah, that's me. Oh, this is the MCX.
But yeah, this is an MCX, which honestly, this had the most recoil of any of the guns.
Yeah.
And watch what happens. It goes up a little bit,
but it comes back.
The whole thing goes up. It goes like this.
Yeah. And the vertical is not
this
exactly from the gun. It's pushing me backwards. And because I'm pushing backwards, but my feet are staying still, it's going up. Yeah.
But I mean, look at the muzzle, dude.
Yep.
Okay, though. No, like for real. Like, look at the muzzle.
Yep.
Like what the fuck? It like almost doesn't move.
Yeah.
I'm putting my cursor where it is. Like where the fucking.
And in just a few shots, I'm very unskilled shooter is able to basically bring it back down, you know?
And this was when we shot AK, M4.
Oh yeah.
In
the G36.
In the G36. Okay, now we didn't. There was the fully auto shotgun.
Yeah, there was the full auto shotgun.
I didn't include that. That was the equivalent of if like someone were to full sprint as fast as they could, jump and like you know how you do like the kick where you do like that. If they did that into your shoulder, it was like
dude, yeah.
My shoulder was yellow for like 3 days.
Yep.
Is that a drop? Yeah, drop kick. Yeah, I couldn't remember the fucking.
But yeah, dude. So that
Oh, and then J Baby, he's got it mounted on the table, and like.
Yep.
There's like it's like barely anything.
Yep.
Like, and then the recoil pops it up, but by the time the next bullet's coming out,
by the time
it's back.
the next bullet, like if we watch this in full speed, you wouldn't even see any of that. Isn't that crazy? The recoil resets so quickly.
Yeah, it's literally going bang every single time it touches the cursor.
Yep. Yep. So the gray zone thing looked pretty cool because it felt more viscerally recoiling like back towards me and as opposed to straight up. So, but that was it. It was just like, it was cool. New game has a trailer. So like, you know, so many cool games have trailers and then fall by the wayside, right? So I'm not like, this is the Tarkov killer. But
the next one's gonna have big booty girl running through the city.
Oh my God, bro! December 7th is when that game finally
releases. A day that will live in
releases.
infamy.
Yes, dude.
Wait, is that when it comes out? Did I make that joke last time? Did I make the day that will live in infamy joke?
No, I don't think so. Maybe.
It's coming out on December 7th. It will be another day that will live in infamy.
Another day.
You know that line, right?
No.
Pearl Harbor.
Okay, I mean, I've seen Pearl Harbor, but like
No, not like the movie.
Oh.
Like it was fucking Roosevelt said in front of Congress. Like the opening lines was like December 7th, 1941, a day that will live in infamy.
Cool.
You never heard that line?
Yeah, sure. 1941? 50 years before I'm born? I'm sorry, I don't know all of the congressional speeches.
I actually don't know. I don't think that was Congress. I don't remember when it was said.
I don't believe a single one of you Twitch chatters right now saying, "Oh, Jesse." I don't believe a single one of you has that speech memorized. Freaking.
Okay, it was the Congress.
Whew. Whew.
That's every time I hear December 7th, you can't not hear a day that will live in infamy.
Well, another day that will live in infamy is the release of the day before on its 17th release day. This is surely the one, boys. Surely. You just copy pasted that from Wikipedia. Don't even give me that you're actually.
We the people of the United States of America, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come.
Jingle bells, jingle all the way.
Jingle bell rock. Jingle bells fun and jingle bells
jingle
done.
Bells,
I don't know.
Batman smells Robin laid an egg.
Oh my God, wait, what's the rest of it?
Jingle bells, Batman smells Robin laid an egg. Mr. Freeze cut the cheese. And Joker.
And I want to be an astronaut. Full circle, baby.
No, it took me a second.
All 11 of you will get that reference because, and all the rest
was
of you
here at the beginning.
You've been diagnosed with ADHD.
If you've made it this far in the video, the secret keyword is astronaut. That's how we know you're a real one. Type it in the comments below. Wow. Yeah, Batmobile lost a wheel. Thank you guys for hanging. This was a good one. This was a bussing podcast. Much tea was spilled. Veritas knows what that means. And
I actually don't. Does it refer to tea the drink?
Yeah. Like you're spilling it. Like people, now everyone can see it. You know this thing that was just for you?
If I were to type it out, do I have to type like the T, like TEA?
Yeah.
It's not just the T?
Yeah.
My
tea levels are low.
One theory is that the T is an acronym for truth. Excuse me? How is it an acronym for one word.
The T in T is an acronym for true.
I don't think later.com is a reliable source.
Anyways, thank you guys for hanging. Oh, this is so much fun. But yeah. If you want more of this, if you want to support us more, if you want more content, if you want early access to episodes, all sorts of stuff, patreon.com/thepodcastpod. This will go live tomorrow for all the Patreon peoples, and it will go live on Monday. If you missed a part of it, come check that out on Monday. You guys are the best. Thank you for hanging, and we'll definitely see y'all in the next one.
Toodles.